The handguard is attached to the chainsaw ahead of the front handle. It is part of the saw's chain brake system. When the handguard is pushed forward, it engages the chain brake, which quickly brings the chain to a stop. The handguard works along with the front handle to engage the chain brake in the event of a kickback accident. It is important to inspect the handguard and test the chain brake often to help prevent a serious accident. If the handguard is broken, cracked, or not properly attached to the saw, it must be repaired before the saw can be safely used. Replacing the handguard is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how. I'll remove the side cover by removing the two nuts and loosening the tension screw. With the clutch cover removed, now I can remove the bar and the chain. Before I can remove the chain brake kit, I'll need to remove the upper handle, as one of the screws for the chain brake is behind the handle. I'll tip the saw over, and there's two more screws on the bottom. With the fasteners removed, now I can pull the handle away from the saw. Now I can remove the chain brake assembly. It's held in place with 4 screws. Now we can remove the handguard, but to remove the handguard, I need to remove the starter assembly. But I can't remove the starter assembly until I remove the top cover, so I'll go ahead and start with that. It's held in place with 3 screws. Now I can remove the starter. It's held in place with 4 screws. Now I can remove the handguard. I'll use a screwdriver to pry it away from the housing, and then I can pull it away from the saw. Now I can install the new handguard. I'll line up the pin on the saw with the hole on the guard, and then I'll bend the guard around and back onto the saw on the other side. Now I'll reinstall the starter assembly. I'll line it up with the saw and then give the rope just a little pull to make sure that everything lines up inside the starter, and now I'll secure it with the screws. Now I'll reinstall the top cover. Now I can reinstall the clutch brake assembly. I'll line it up, getting the brake band around the clutch, adjust the handle until it lines up with it, and then once it's in place, I'll secure it with the screws. Now I'll reinstall the top handle. I'll just work it onto the saw until it's in its mounting location. And now that it's in place, I'll secure it with the fasteners. Now I'll install the bar and the chain. On this saw, it's easiest to place the chain on the bar first, and then this whole assembly onto the saw. Now as I mount this, you want to make sure that you have the chain on the right direction. On the bottom part of the bar, the sharp side of the tooth should be pointing back towards the saw, otherwise it won't cut right. Now I can place the chain around the sprocket, and then guide the bar onto the saw over the bar bolts. Like that. Once I have it in place on the saw, I'll go ahead and pull the bar forward as far as it'll go. Just like that. And now I can install the side cover. I place it over the bar bolts, and I'll adjust the adjustment screw until the pin on the side cover falls into the hole on the bar. This is easiest to do if you have a long screwdriver, but any screwdriver will work. And I'll just adjust it one way or another until it lines up with that hole in the bar. I'm applying a little sideward pressure so it'll snap into place when it finds that hole. Like that. Now that it's engaged in the bar, I'm going to turn it the opposite direction until it starts to put some tension on the chain. And now I'll go ahead and install the nuts. At this point, I'm just going to put the nuts on finger tight. Now we'll go ahead and tension the chain. To do that, I'll grab the tip of the bar and raise it up as high as it'll go. Then I can check the tension on the chain. Without pulling real hard, just a normal grasp, you want to grab the chain and lift it up. You want to be able to lift the chain, but no more than about the height of the driver links. So I'll just grab it and lift it up. Looks like it's still just a little bit loose. So I'll tighten the screw a little bit more. Check it again. That looks good. So now I'll go ahead and tighten down the bar nuts.